Hey, it's F. Gardner. So I did a video where I was talking about movies, and I mentioned like one of the movies I mentioned is Dunston Checks In, and I was previously talking about gorillas, how gorillas are fake, how gorillas don't exist, and yeah, it occurred to me I should elaborate a little bit, like how monkeys, like that's likely the same sort of situation where it's just a dude in a suit or costume to look like that and like it's or like a just a really short guy or a kid wearing a costume. People come in all sizes, and Dunstan checks in. Yeah, at first when I was talking about that, I thought to myself, oh, well, wait a minute, maybe this isn't like a conspiracy movie like the Super Mario Brothers movie. Secretly is like how a lot of people don't know about that, but then I realized, oh wait a minute, no, it has a monkey in it. Of course, it's yeah, it has to do with conspiracies because monkeys aren't real. It's the same with gorillas or any other apes or whatever. Like they're just like you know, it's just a guy wearing a costume, a gorilla costume. Gorillas aren't real. It's the same thing with monkeys. It's just a costume. So yeah, Dunstan checks in. Like if you watch that movie, it's been a while since I've seen that, but it's the last time I saw it. Yeah, you only see the monkey. Most of the time, it's just like short little clips where he's with George Costanza and the kid, the other characters in the movie. And Pee Wee Herman, the guy who plays Pee Wee Herman, he's an actor, one of the actors in it. He's one of the bad guys. He's trying to kill him. He's trying to shoot the monkey. So like, you can't get a monkey to act. Like it doesn't make sense. It's an animal. So Dunstan checks in. Great movie. I'm not knocking Dunstan checks in. That's one of F. Gardner's favorite movies. But it's like, so the Illuminati or whatever, sometimes it's like they make movies or they'll be involved in some movies sometimes, like to keep the lid on things. And like how the Truman Show and the Matrix probably, like they must, yeah, almost certainly, I think, stuff like that. And then like how Stanley Kubrick with the moon landing, like how they'll get involved in stuff like that. Like, yeah, 2001 Space Odyssey, Eyes Wide Shut, The Shining, like they'll have like little hints and secrets about everything, like how like there's no such thing as outer space, that the earth is flat, and there are these secret societies and everything. So Dunstan checks in is kind of like that too, in that sense where apes, monkeys, gorillas, they're not real, they're just people wearing costumes to look like that. Like, because how could they get a monkey to act like that? It's like I said before, it's an animal. It's not like a monkey is looking at the script, flipping through the pages, and then he knows, oh, okay, I'm supposed to run over here and eat a banana, whatever. It wouldn't make any sense. So that's why you only see it in like short little clips. If you rewatch that movie, it's only like short little clips. You'll see the monkey doing something, and it's because it's like, yeah, a guy wearing this costume or a kid wearing the costume, or maybe even an animatronic, like how I heard theories about how apes could just be, yeah, animatronics, monkeys, gorillas, what, like they're just like Disney World animatronics and stuff like that. So it shouldn't be possible to get a monkey to act that well. And why aren't they showing it like more often? It's always in these short little clips. And how would they even get a monkey on a film set? Because like I said, you can't go to the zoo and just go in the cages and play with the gorillas and everything. No, they don't allow that. It's only the zookeepers who, whatever. And again, not all zookeepers are in on it. Most zookeepers are not allowed to do that. It's only the ones, the caretakers or whatever, like taking care of the gorillas and everything. So how did they get access to a monkey for that film? Like the more I think about it, the more I think like, well, yeah, it's because it was produced by the Illuminati or whatever, probably, or it has to have been. There's no other way I could explain that if gorillas don't exist. And then the more I think about it, it's like, well, by definition, no, monkeys don't exist either. So yeah, basically, long story short, yeah, Dunstan checks in, great movie, but monkeys aren't real. The movie's made by the Illuminati, and it's just a dude wearing a costume. It's still a really good movie. You should check it out. Like I said, a lot of good movies are like that, where it's like if you pay really close attention, you'll pick up on the little secrets of how reality, or what we think is reality. And Dunston Checks In, don't be fooled just because it seems like a silly comedy. It can still have like deeply esoteric stuff like that, like the Super Mario Brothers movie has some funny moments, but also some like serious moments, like how that movie is kind of like Blade Runner, like in a way, but like maybe not quite as dark, but still just as good. Maybe even better. I don't know. Blade Runner's a great movie. That's one of the best movies. But the Super Mario Brothers movie, yeah, that's really mind blowing too. Especially how like esoteric it is. And Dunston Checks In, it's kind of like that too. If you think, but in like a different way, more of a, because it's a comedy. It's a different genre, but it's still just as like esoteric in its own regard. Yeah. So this is a video, I guess, sort of a follow up video, both to how I had mentioned Dunston Checks In. Great movie from the 90s. Man, it was one of the best parts growing up in the 90s. So, yeah, like, now it's 2022, as of the time of recording this video, and I'm 33 years old. But I think back to the 90s, it was like, everything was good then. Like, not just movies, like books, video games, music, just life in general. Everything, yeah, it was cool. And like a lot of those movies back then, they would put in these secrets, like little hints. And Dunston Checks In, that fits the criteria in a manner like a lot of people wouldn't expect. It's not maybe as obvious as like Eyes Wide Shut, where it's not, where that's like, it's not subtle. Whereas it's a little more subtle, and you need to pay close attention, because people won't pick up on that, like how the shots of the monkey, it's just like for a brief, whatever, couple seconds, the monkey pops out, and I don't even, it's been a while since I've seen that movie, I don't recall what he does exactly, but like the monkey pops out and eats a banana and then throws a shit at somebody, or whatever, and George Costanza was in that movie too for some reason. And, yeah, it was a good movie, it was funny, it was a great plot, but like these type of movies, like I said, the more you watch them, it's like the Super Mario Brothers movie from the 90s. It's like more like reading a religious book, where you're like, this is like, it's telling some deep shit. It's telling you like the secrets of reality and everything. And it takes a couple times to watch it before you pick up on those little things. But I did, and you will too if you watch it. So yeah, if you've never seen Dunston Checks In, so yeah, I'll do a shout out to director Dunston Checks In, a great movie, and yeah, George Costanza, the actor, yeah, shout out to him. Jason Alexander, yeah, from Seinfeld, yeah, that was a great show. F. Gardner loves Seinfeld. I rewatched every episode of Seinfeld the past year. I've seen that. Wow, I've seen every episode. I've seen every episode so many times I couldn't even guess. Like, that was part of what made the 90s so great. It's just like, that was something everybody enjoyed. Like, and everybody had a favorite character. Jerry, George, Kramer, Elaine, Newman, all the wacky characters, and yeah, and it was on all the time. And it's like that and Dragon Ball Z and like Pokemon, I think, are the only shows from the 90s that I've seen every episode of without even like trying, in the sense of like nowadays, if you want to see every episode of a show, a TV show or an anime, usually look up a list or like go to the Wikipedia list of what episode was I on. But those episodes were on all the time. I would just watch them every day because they're so good. And it was like that with everybody. Like people different, it like transcended generations. Like with Seinfeld, like people that were kids, like back in the 90s, how I was a kid, I was watching Seinfeld, I loved it. And then people that were 20 years older or even older than that were watching it. They thought, well, yeah, this is just one of the best shows ever. I can't miss an episode of it. So it was like that kind of thing. You had a lot of stuff like that from the 90s, and it's too bad we don't see that as often today, I guess. At least I can't think of any. Maybe that's because I mostly I rewatch like Seinfeld and Dragon Ball Z and older stuff from the 90s. I don't know. Yeah, if there's a show as good as Seinfeld, let me know in the comments down below, I guess. Just, yeah, let me know. I'll check it out. I'll check out anything as long as it's good. Well, hope you guys enjoy this episode. Bye.